Hello, welcome to my video. Thanks for clicking on it. I appreciate that. And if you like the content I'm creating, please subscribe. That really helps my channel. All right, let's get started. Today's question for DevOps and SRE interview is what happens to containers that has a limit but doesn't have a request in Kubernetes? So before we get into the answer of the question, pause the video if we need to. But there's some basics we need to cover. So when we say let's say an Nginx pod to run on a node, and the node will be chosen by Kubernetes controller. We can assign a request and a limit. Request is how much CPU you want the container to have at the beginning. Limit is how much how much CPU it can have at the maximum. So if the container is taking up too much CPU, at some point, if it reaches the limit, it will be throttled. Means it will not get any more CPU power for the container. So whatever application is running on that container is going to get slow, and the customer is going to notice, right? So that's how the whole scenario works. But what so and you specify these parameters in the YAML files for the pods. So you say how much limit you're going to have and how much requests you're going to have. But what happens if we assign a limit? So let's say 8 units, but we didn't give it a request. So request is, if you remember, is what it starts with, right? So what in that case, what happens is the controller actually gives it a request that matches the limits. It's the same, right? So you'll start with X, and X being what the limit is. That's what happens. And when it goes beyond um, the limit given, it will be throttle, and basically that means that your application is going to be slow. Now, same thing applies on memory, but with a twist. So if you if you don't give a memory request and you give it memory limit, right? The request, it becomes same as the limit, right? That's how it starts with. But here's the catch. In memory, it doesn't get throttle if the container is actually taking up more memory than it's supposed to. It will get killed, and there's a name for that. It's called OOM killed. So OOM killed, out of memory killed. That's a very specific error message that you get saying the container got shut down or killed because it was using too much memory. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.